Hey everyone, today we're diving into something that could be a total game changer for nonprofits. We're talking about how to get world-class Drupal hosting on AWS and, get this, potentially for free. Yeah, you heard that right. We're going to show you where to find thousands of dollars in cloud credits that could completely rewrite your budget.
So let's just start with the big question, the one you see right there. Can your nonprofit really get top-tier, enterprise-grade web hosting without spending a dime? Well, for a whole lot of you, the answer is a big, emphatic yes. And we're about to show you exactly how.
I think we all know this story, right? You've got this incredibly important mission. And to get that mission out there today, you need a powerful, fast, reliable website. But the budgets are always tight. Every single dollar counts. And huge hosting bills can feel like they're directly pulling money away from the actual work you're trying to do.
But what if I told you there's this kind of hidden treasure out there just waiting for your nonprofit? Well, that's pretty much what AWS grants and credits are. Seriously, they're a game changer that can slash your hosting costs or even, get this, wipe them out completely.
Okay, let's talk numbers, because they get pretty exciting pretty fast. The easiest place to start is the AWS Nonprofit Credit Program. You can get it through TechSoup. We're talking up to $5,000 in credits. And that's not a one-time thing. That's a $5,000 every single year that you can put right toward your hosting.
But honestly, that's just a warm-up. Are you thinking bigger? Like, maybe you need to modernize your whole setup or move some servers. Well, the Momentum to Modernize grant offers a package worth up to $70,000. That's cash and credits. Now we're talking about a serious leap forward.
And okay, for the really big dreamers out there, check this out. The Pathfinder Grant, this is for projects that use AI, offers a staggering $300,000 in funding and credits. At this point, you're not just covering hosting anymore. You're funding a complete digital transformation, all on AWS's dime.
And look, this isn't just me talking. As our source material points out, these programs really do make top-tier cloud infrastructure accessible. It completely levels the playing field, you know? It lets organizations like yours compete digitally without having to break the bank.
All right, so you're probably thinking, what's the catch, right? There's always a catch. Well, it's not really a catch, but it's one of those really, really important details you can't miss. To use any of these credits, your website has to run inside your own AWS account. You can't use them on a lot of the big hosting platforms because they're running on their accounts, not yours. So that one little rule brings you to a fork in the road. You've basically got two main paths you can take to use these credits. On one side, you've got the do-it-yourself path, setting everything up by hand, and on the other, you've got the automated path, using a platform to do the heavy lifting for you.
Let's look at that DIY path first. Now, the big plus here is control. You get absolute, total control over every tiny piece of your setup. But, and it's a big but, that control comes with a ton of complexity.
And when I say complexity, I mean, look at this list. You're not just spinning up a single server. To do Drupal right on AWS, you have to piece together this whole puzzle of services. EC2 for servers, RDS for the database, S3 for files, CloudFront for speed, WAF for security. I mean, the list just goes on, and every single piece has to be configured perfectly to work with all the others.
And here's the real kicker. The big cost isn't the AWS services themselves, especially if you've got credits to pay for them. The massive hidden cost is the person you have to hire to manage all that stuff. You need a specialized DevOps engineer, and that's going to run you at a minimum $85,000 a year. Ouch.
So if that $85,000 number just made your jaw hit the floor, don't worry, there's another way. Let's talk about the automated alternative, which gives you that control you want, but without all the mind-numbing complexity.
This path uses something called a Platform as a Service, or PaaS for short. The easiest way to think about it is like a smart remote control for your AWS account. It handles all that complicated server setup stuff in the background, so your team can just focus on what they're good at, building an awesome website to support your mission.
So, just how simple are we talking? Well, let's take a free PaaS called DevPanel as an example. The whole process is basically 3 steps. 1. Connect your AWS account. That's how you use your credits. 2. Connect your code. And 3. Click a button to deploy your Drupal site. All that complexity we saw before, it's all just handled.
In this chart, man, it just says it all. Look at the bar on the left. That's the real cost of going manual, and it's almost all that huge DevOps salary. Now look at the bar on the right. That's the automated path. Since the platform itself can be free and your AWS credits cover the infrastructure, your real costs can drop to pretty much zero. The difference is just staggering. Okay, so we've laid out the two main options. Now, how you actually pick the one that's the perfect fit for your nonprofit. Let's walk through a super simple guide to help you decide.
This table really cuts right to the heart of it. For a nonprofit, the most important question is right there in the third column. Can I use my AWS credits? And look, for some of the really popular platforms like Pantheon or Acquia, the answer is a flat no. Because remember, they don't run in your own AWS account. To unlock all those free credits, you have to pick a solution that does run in your account, like doing it yourself or using a PaaS like DevPanel or Amaze.io.
And we can even break it down by your organization's size. Let's say you're a small nonprofit, trying to make every single dollar stretch. A free platform like DevPanel is probably a no-brainer. As you get bigger, and you need things like 24/7 support, you can look at paid enterprise plans. For the largest organizations with serious compliance needs, you've got powerful options like Amaze.io. But notice the pattern? All these recommended paths let you keep using your credits.
So, what are the big things to remember from all this? First, and I can't say this enough, go apply for the AWS Nonprofit Credit Program. It's literally free money. Second, you have to host in your own AWS account to use those credits. Third, automated platforms are your secret weapon to avoid that massive DevOps salary. And finally, the sweet spot, the best solution, is the one that gives you the control of owning your own setup, but with the ease of automation.
And that really brings us to the last question. Because this whole discussion, it's not really about servers or code, it's about your mission. When you make a smart choice here, you stop wasting precious time and money on technical headaches, and you can pour those resources back into what really matters, advancing your cause. So you have to ask yourself, is your web hosting helping your mission, or is it getting in the way?